When Lucas Brandt disappeared in the Alps, the mountain swallowed him silently, without struggle, without traces, without a single clue about where he could have gone. The weather had been good, the trail familiar, but his last sign of life ended so sharply that it felt as if the mountain itself had closed a door behind him. From the beginning, something about this case felt wrong. Rescuers kept repeating the same thing: if he fell, we would have found him. If he got lost, we'd have seen tracks. But it's like he simply didn't exist. It wasn't until 2 years later that the truth finally surfaced, when a diary was discovered inside his abandoned backpack. And what was written inside turned out to be far more terrifying than any legend. Lucas had set out early that morning, while the sky was still gray from the night's fog. He was calm, confident, almost methodical, exactly the type of person who didn't take unnecessary risks. He always calculated everything: water, timing, weather, elevation. But in the mountains, sometimes 1 hour is enough. One wrong step, and the numbers stop working. He was last seen at 2:57 p.m., a lone figure hiking toward the ridge of Hochkönig. After that, nothing. Searches began a few days later. Helicopters combed the slopes, rescue teams turned over every rock. But the mountain stayed silent. It didn't just hide its secrets, it refused to give them back. After 2 weeks, the search was called off. Only in 2023 did a young shepherd find the backpack. Wedged between two boulders, placed almost neatly, as if someone had set it down just yesterday. But the fabric was sun-bleached, frayed by wind. Inside was a notebook, damp, torn, filled with handwriting that grew weaker with every page. The diary was given to rescue teams. And what they read forced them to rethink the entire investigation. The first entries were ordinary, precise, confident. But closer to the end, the handwriting trembled, letters stretched and broke apart. Fog rolled in suddenly. A moment ago I saw the trail, now I feel like I'm standing in warm milk. Landmarks gone. Lost orientation. This happens often in the Alps, fog hits like a slammed door, erasing the world in seconds. But the next entry was worse. Think I took a hunter's path. Rocks are sharp. Slipped. Fell maybe 5 meters, maybe more. Got back up but my right leg barely bends. The entries grew shorter. Walking blind. Fog didn't lift even by evening. Feels like I keep circling the same place. Heard a helicopter. Screamed until my voice cracked. I think the sound moved upward. They didn't see me. No one saw me. At this point the handwriting looked scratched in, as if written with freezing, shaking fingers. More entries. Getting dark. It's quiet here. Wrong kind of quiet. The night is going to be long. Mountains aren't silent at night, there's wind, stones cracking, insects, animals. But where Lucas ended up, it felt different. Crushing. Cold. Like the air itself was closing in. Soon the diary became a confession of a man who understood he was running out of time. Found water but hands barely work. Legs swollen. Probably torn ligaments. If I go further, I won't make it. Tracks of animals. Wolves maybe. They walk at night. I hear them when it gets completely dark. Strength fading. Want to get out. Really want to. But the mountain feels like it's tightening around me. One of the darkest entries was this. Today I understood I won't get back up the slope. Below, cliffs. I have to move, even a little. But the backpack, too heavy. I'll leave it here. Scares me. It's the last thing I have. He left his backpack on a stone ledge. Rescuers later said that if he had stayed there, he might have survived. But he pressed forward. With one thought, lighter means faster. The final entry was a single line, almost carved into the paper. If you're reading this, don't let the mountains take my name. After finding the diary, rescuers retraced Lucas's possible route. On the 6th day they found torn clothing. On the 8th, his remains. He died like many do in the mountains, quietly, slowly, unseen. From cold, dehydration, and injuries. He lay down between two boulders, trying to shield himself from the wind, and simply didn't wake up. But the disturbing part was something else. Rescuers are certain, they passed within 100 meters of him several times. A helicopter even flew above the ravine where he sat and screamed. But the stone walls swallowed the sound. The fog hid his silhouette. In the mountains, a few meters can separate life and death. Lucas's diary now lies in a glass case in his family's home. His mother says reading it is like reliving his last days with him, too dark, too long. His father says something different. The mountains aren't evil. But they take those who make even one wrong step. And that single wrong step, described in a trembling line of his diary, is what sealed Lucas Brandt's fate.